Hey, welcome to Jason Unleashed. How's it going? Good to see you guys. I'm your host, Jason Carter. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Thursday. Great show today, you guys. I am so excited for our guest. I'm a huge fan of who's joining us today. She is a drag superstar, an actress, a mogul, entrepreneur, so many wonderful things. She is Shangela Laquifa Wadley. Hallelujah. Yes. We loved her on season 2 of Drag Race, season 3, All Stars 4, All Stars 3, sorry. So many All Stars. And just everything she's done in between has been incredible. One of the hardest working people in show business, an ethic like no other. And I know you guys are huge fans. You've been sliding the DMs, excited to have her on the show. So she is here today. You guys know the drill. Comments, questions, anything, leave them below. We'll try to get to them. And again, thank you for watching. She's going to send a request in just a second. I'm feeling a little... I guess wild today, so I'm rocking the cheetah. You guys like it? There's the back, there's the front. I felt like I had to show up since Shangela is a little out there herself, but yeah, it's going to be a great conversation. We're Here is the new show that she is on HBO, along with her and Bob the Drag Queen and Eureka O'Hara, and they're just doing incredible work. This show it's not a makeover show. It's pretty much just, I don't know how to describe it. It's a lot of great things, and I hope you guys are checking it out. It's on HBO. A new episode is tonight on HBO. So let's bring Shangela. And oh, there she is. Hallelujah. Shangela, 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 Shangela. Boom, that's my connection dance. I'm still waiting for you guys to make me a connection theme song. Shanjay!
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah. Hi, good to see you.
Hi, it's good to be seen. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing in quaranqueening over in Paris, Texas?
Full on quarantine. You got me. I'm over here at my grandma's house in Paris. I've been here longer, I think, than I have been here since I was 18. Since I moved to California, I've been here for like 2 consecutive months now. And if, to be honest, if there was any bright spot in all of this, the pandemic itself, I would say it's being able to reconnect really in person with my family for so long. I haven't been here this long in a while. So it's been actually really nice to have this moment together.
I love it. Well, you're there with your mom and your grandma who, we need to meet grandma because you so affectionately talk about your grandma all the time in interviews. And so I need to meet her one of these days, but congratulations on everything you have going on. As I said before you came on, you are one of the hardest working people I know. I mean, going back to when we first got to work together, way back in 2010, I don't think people know the story. They don't know the story about how you slid into the DMs on Facebook and were like, do you want to dance backup for me in Louisville, Kentucky? And I'm like, sure. And the rest is history. The rest is history, but you're killing the game. How does it feel to know that you have been named one of the most powerful drag queens in America by The New Yorker, getting these type of...
Look, I don't get into all those lists. Honey, today they'll call you most powerful. Tomorrow they'll call you street trash. Who knows? But I will say I feel very happy about the place that I'm in right now. I'm very grateful about the place that I'm in right now. And I'm happy that I can look back on the last 10 years in drag and be like, bitch, you in this moment because you worked for this moment. Now, I've had great people to mentor me along the way. I've had great fans, I still do to this day, that have supported me and been down for a bitch ever since she came in the door with no makeup on season 2, okay? But I'm very grateful that I've really pushed and nonstop work to get to this moment now and to have, a project with HBO. I'm just super thankful.
It's incredible. And the project with HBO, We're Here, you have said that this is not a makeover show, and the show is so many things. Here we're seeing drag, which is bold, which is colorful, which is loud, which is powerful, being inserted into these spaces that aren't very welcoming, possibly, that have never experienced drag, that aren't too familiar. Watching the show, especially in the first episode, were you hesitant and a little fearful at first? Because we are also living in a time where people are violent. They're vocally oppressed to LGBTQ plus culture. That experience for you, tell us about that, because watching from the first episode, I was thinking like, I don't know how I would feel.
Let me be for real. Look, you got to remember, I grew up in a small town in a conservative area in the Bible Belt. Okay, I'm from Paris, Texas, which is where I am surprisingly back now. I've come full circle, right? And honestly, I wasn't afraid at all on going to these places because a lot of times if people aren't familiar with small towns, you're going to have this stereotype and this already a notion about what you expect, right? And growing up in a small town, I know that even though it may not be always as welcoming, especially for the queer experience and me as a little gay boy, it's not all bad. And so I've always lived my life looking for the good in places and in people. And that's what I did going into these spaces. Now, as you can see in watching the show, like in the third episode, oh, they called the laws. Okay, the police on us. They were like, these men out here dressed as women, come lock them up. You know, but those are the things and those are the experiences that LGBTQ people in places where they don't have a huge community of support, they go through that stuff every day. So right. If I had to go through it for once or, you know, a few days a week when we were filming, that's just a small piece that we had to go through in order to share these amazing stories and hopefully build these communities of support in places that are quite, you know, very unlikely.
Right. Well, let's talk about Hunter because, you know, when you have a show like this, you can't help but also revisit your own life and draw on your own experiences. You know, Hunter and his father, and you being there to pretty much help this kid evolve and to bring love back into his life and to reconnect. Did you personally? How did that impact you? Because you can't do that kind of work without it impacting you emotionally.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I didn't expect to be so vulnerable in filming this show, you know, but after the first episode, I realized that, wow, this show is going to require me to be super open, super honest, obviously super authentic, but also very vulnerable and going there in places emotionally that I didn't expect to go with the show because it does, you know, could remind you of your childhood. And there's different things that would connect me to my own experience in working with Hunter in the first episode, right? He was this young gay boy that was in this town that he didn't feel like he fully felt supported in, that he could fully be himself, but he was still pushing through anyhow. He was going to put on his full mug of, you know, boy makeup during the day and go to his job at the makeup counter and live his experience. And he wanted to build this greater connection with his family and specifically with his father. But he had a dad that was like, you know, a Harley Davidson riding,
Navy guy.
you know, that's just like, yo, you know, not yo, but you know what I mean? So, and I didn't really grow up in the house with a dad. You know, my grandpa was definitely the masculine male figure around my house, but my parents split up when I was very, very young. And I haven't known my dad since then. So in having to help Hunter build this relationship between he and his dad, I even questioned myself, like, am I the person that's equipped to do this? Because I don't know how, as a gay boy, to relate to not being able to build that relationship that you want to have with your dad. I could, in the sense that I didn't know how to really have that relationship, but I also felt like, what do I know about this? But in this project, it's a real life series. We bring what we know to the table, and a lot of times we're learning as we're going along as well. My drag daughters taught me so much in this season. I learned so much from going through these experiences with them about myself. You know, I come in thinking, oh, hallelujah, bitch, I'm Shangela. I got it. I know this. But there are still things that I've been able to pick up and learn, and I'm excited for more people to see that, and hopefully our viewers will learn something along the way the same way I did.
Well, it's unique, Shanji, because you know we've seen shows that have put drag queens in a space of let me fix your life, right? Drag queens come in and be the levity and be the joy and like the party, but with
and you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but you know, I was very like, I didn't want to be a part of, and I celebrate those types of projects because, you know, we need that in the world. Anything that's bringing more joy, hallelujah. Right. But I didn't feel like that was where my expertise lied. Shanji ain't gonna come over and, you know, I'm not the best hairstylist. I'm not the best. I don't consider myself the best, absolute best makeup artist for other people. I'm not a fairy drag mother that's gonna bing, wave a wand, and all of a sudden your life is better. Is not what this show is, and I was thankful that this show was not that. I love the other ones, but this show was not that because, and I think you were getting there, Jason, I'm sorry to cut you off, but because this is a show in which we're going into small towns, these small conservative spaces, hearing these queer and these queer adjacent stories, you know, and partnering with these people to help hopefully equip them with some life tools to help them get there with the confidence in order to go through this drag journey with us, right? Drag is transformative, truly. But this particular show is not a makeover. It is hoping to equip you with the tools to get to the better place that you want to get to in your life. You're a mother that doesn't know how to connect with your daughter. You guys got separated because of your feelings about the gay community. You feel like you want to bridge that. Okay, you want to use drag as a way to say, I support you, I love you. And also they're partnering with us to help us bring out people in this community to show that there's a place of support in a place where you didn't think there was, right? I think about when I was 18, my goal was, okay, thank you, Paris, Texas. Let me get up out of Paris, Texas so I can find the gays, right? Because there were none out loud and proud and visible around here. But maybe I didn't have to leave my small town in order to find that community. Maybe I could have stayed in this small town, and if there was something like a drag show, if there was something like a We're Here to come to town to bring out this community of support that I never would have thought that existed here.
Right. Well, it's also awesome to see like the reparations, if you will, that are being made by people that have possibly been homophobic in the past that are now getting in drag and being a part of the culture. Who's walking behind you?
Come here, Kayla. I just was sorry. I was starting to laugh. I'm in a, you know, I told you I'm quarantining at my grandma's house in Paris. Come here, baby. And while I'm here, I'm also homeschooling and babysitting. Uncle DJ's babysitting. Look here. That's Jason right there. Hi, guys. You want to say hi to Jason real quick? And then I need y'all to go finish making those cookies. Wave. Say hi, Carly. Okay. This is Kaylee and Carly.
Hey guys. Want to say what's up to Monet Exchange? She's in the comments.
Monet, I just got scenes stolen by the children. They totally took my shine. Wave goodbye. You got to go make those cookies, okay? Go make those cookies with my mom.
Also, Tony Moore. Hey, Tony.
See you later. Close the door behind you, please. Thank you.
But,
real life series.
Hey, true life, Shangela, the small Paris, Texas edition. But people are making reparations and realizing things about themselves, being able to be a part of this. And I think it's just magical. And I'm glad you pointed out that this is not like that one of those things where we're fairy drag mothers. We're going to come make everything, you know, better. And seeing how vulnerable you and Bob and Eureka are, it's a whole new layer. It's a whole new level. And I'm glad that HBO and the creators were able to have the foresight and the wherewithal to bring this type of content, because it's definitely needed and different sides of the drag experience and then all its beauty needs to be shown. So kudos for you for that. It's incredible. What's also incredible is just, I mean, look, I've known you for forever. Let's keep it 100. I know you for a long time. And
you were in the Working Girl music video for Professional. People better know.
Yeah.
Professional.
No, but I mean, Shangela, just your evolution from, you know, where does this work ethic come from? In every interview, when they ask me, because they always got to ask, who's your favorite drag queen or who's your favorite from the show? You are first on the list because you have a work ethic, and I've said this time and time again, that rivals that of Madonna. And you work hard. You know, you don't take no for an answer. What inspired that? Because so they could have written you off years ago. Corn, Hallelujah. They could have said, gimmick, but you're not. You have proven you are not. Being the first drag queen to walk the Oscars carpet. I mean, that ethic, who instilled that in you? Where does that come from?
Oh, well, thank you. That's really sweet of you. I'll tell you, a number of people that have inspired me along the way. There were key ones in different spaces in my life, different stages. And the first one was definitely my mom. Like, my mom is one of the hardest workers. She was a single Black mom. You know, she went off to the military and had to go fight in wars. And I was living in the home with my grandparents for a while. And when she came back, I would watch my mom sometimes have 1, 2, 3 jobs at a time, right? At one point, she was working at a power plant and doing a separate job filling vending machines at the end of the night and substitute teaching school at kindergarten, right? So she worked, and I learned at a very young age, because we didn't have a lot, that if you wanted things in life, if you wanted to achieve these goals, if you wanted to even, you know, have extra lunch money in order to get you a honey bun off the free lunch gig, then you're going to have to work to earn that money. It doesn't, I see her working. Okay, I'm going to work too. I had a job since I was 14 and a half. I got my first job. So like, I've always had this ethic of like working for what you want in the world. And then when I moved to LA and I got a gig as Jennifer Lewis's assistant, before we even became like friends, I was like a fan, then I was her assistant. And then now, you know, we've become friends and I moved into the house. But I'm going to tell you, she is one of those people that has worked in Hollywood for so long. If she wanted to, she could sit back and be like, I'm good, I'm done, I got the coins, I got the notoriety, I'm there. And all the time, I would see her when she'd have downtime writing songs at the piano, or, you know, I'm writing my memoir, I'm writing a book, and she's meeting and she's doing and she's creating. She would write one-woman shows in order to be fundraisers for the LA Gay and Lesbian Center. And so seeing another great example of that work, seeing someone like RuPaul, even, you know, from a distance, seeing RuPaul continuously grind. You know, she not only has a show, she got an album, she got a show, she got a book. And I'm like, you know what, if I love being in this space. I'm so thankful to her and the show for the platform they gave me. And now guess what? I'm going to take it and go. I never got the crown, but y'all can't tell me I ain't no winner. Right. Because I believe that I am. And I work like one. That's right. Why I consider myself to be a winner. My head still could use a crown. I'll take one any day. But until then, I'll just give myself one, okay? Because I'm just thankful. And I can look at, you know, things that I've been able to achieve and the people that I've been able to connect with. And it inspires me to work harder. Jason, I was at Tyler Perry's studio opening in October. And when you talk about Black excellence, bitch, everybody was there. Everybody in Black.
It was major.
Black Hollywood. If you want to take out Black Hollywood, they could have just put a spaceship over top of it and zoomed us off, because everybody in Black Hollywood was there. I was like, I mean, everybody. Anyway, plus Bill and Hillary Clinton, which are also Black. So, but that being said, Tyler, right before they opened the big doors to unveil the studio, he gave this speech. And he said, one thing that I heard at, well, he said, somehow when I was first starting out, I got an invitation to Oprah, a fundraiser that Oprah was doing. And I was there and I'm thinking, why am I here? I have no, you know, business being in this huge building with all these major stars and people in movies and shakers. And he said, Oprah said, you guys have to dream big. A lot of times, especially as if you grow up poor, Black, in a small town, wherever, you're not told to dream big because people don't want to set their expectations too high thinking they're going to fail, right? And Tyler said his thing, now I'm challenging all of you here in this room, dream bigger. And that's what I started putting in my head. Yes, I'm so excited, thankful that I got to go to the Oscars and walk the carpet. That was a big dream. But I would love to be nominated for an Oscar one day. Dream bigger. You know, it's great to be guest starring in television shows and films and being in all that. It'd be great to star in one or write one or help produce one for someone else. Those are the bigger dreams that I want to go for now. So it's great to have success, but I want to continue that on now into the next phase. So I don't even feel, I mean, I guess I do feel successful, but what is successful? Is it money? Is it a job here? You know, what is success? And to me, I think the biggest thing, and I'll wrap this up, is being able to, like, last year in August, I was able to surprise my grandma to move from one of the houses that we had grown up with over on, you know, 5th Street to a house in a, you know, just a more gorge neighborhood and all that kind of fun stuff. And like, just be able to buy the house and be like, and this is your home. Like, those are the moments when I go around and see, like, we have enough rooms now that everybody can spend the night and I can go in and check in on the kids. They all have different beds and in their own little rooms and stuff. That's beautiful. That to me means more than an award or a crown or anything else.
Well, what you mentioned was dumbing down your successes. I'm gonna get to that, but everyone's celebrating you in the comments here, and they're agreeing with you.
Oh, hi guys! I'm sorry, I'm all in the comments.
But you're right about dreaming bigger, and I mean, you say you it's no secret you are successful. I mean, hello, you have Beyonce give you a standing ovation, and you know, like that's. But
that was a moment. I'm not playing it down. I love Beyonce. Thank you, Beyonce.
But you're right. You know, it's about dreaming bigger and wanting more, and people don't do that because they don't feel like they deserve, feel like they can achieve. Seeing you has made you such an inspiration for so many. But with all that success and with this confidence, what scares Shangela? What fears you? Like what like you when you go to bed at night, think about all the things where you want to go. What
Okay.
that makes you that drives you as well?
Okay. Let me answer that for you. Hold on one second. Baby, close the door for me. Close the door. Thank you. I'll be out. Thank you so much. The children, you know. Um, what scares me? What makes me uneasy? Well, honestly, this moment that we're in right now with COVID-19 really shook me up. I think I'm in a better place now. I definitely feel hopeful. I know we're going to make it through this, and somehow we've had to change the way that we work and create and connect and all that. But when it became real to me, when we were filming the 6th episode of the show, and we ended up getting stopped in the middle of the show, and for the safety of everyone, they sent everyone home, right? And then I was on my way to Mexico because I thought, oh, okay, well, that done, I'm gonna go down here and do my show. You know, I'm Shangela. I did 184 shows in 2018. I didn't miss one. Okay, I'm in a different city every day. So when I got to Dallas to change planes on my way to Mexico, and I got off the plane, and this is early when it first started becoming a city, before they locked everything down. This is early in, and I saw people in the airports all with all their masks on, and I had one too, but everyone had the mask on. It was like a ghost town. I literally was like, it snapped me because I've been in work mode. I was over there, we were filming. I was like, we can push through this. It's gonna be a blip. We'll be in, out. And when I saw that, and then they closed the Canadian border, right? I got that notification on my phone, and I was like, oh, I can't go to Mexico. Not right now, because I know, girl, Trump don't even like Mexico. I know he's gonna use any reason at all to close that border. I love Mexico, by the way, but I just didn't want to get trapped there, and if something were to happen to anyone in my family back here. So I literally threw a scene, got off the plane in Dallas, and asked my mom to come and pick me up, and that was it. And that, I think, that first week, seeing the numbers in the U.S. come in and continue to rise and continue to double exponentially, and like all of that, when I had friends in New York that I get a call and be like, oh, this friend of yours is no longer alive because of Corona. I'm like, what? That whole thing compiled, and it really scared me. I'd never been through something like this before. So I definitely have had to journal my way through that, and really just, connect with fans and friends and talk through it. And now I'm in a much better place. But yeah, that's something that, because I didn't have no control.
Right.
None.
Well,
I had no control over the situation. I couldn't, I'm used to being able to get on the plane, hit it. Mama's got 1,000,000 miles. Let's roll. Where y'all want to go? And all the planes were shut down.
right.
And freedom was taken,
It was good. Life as we knew it was over. But you said
and with no warning. It came with no warning, which I
So
think is really what took it from me and from everyone. I'm not, alone in the way of feeling this. I'm very thankful to all those who are on the front line and who are out there continuously working to try and get us to, to maintain some sort of progress or any, just moving forward one step in front of the other. But I'm telling you, it really did shake me.
you said that through all of this and how it shook you and control, that you were journaling, and was that part of your self-care? Because like, what do you, now that we're coming out on another side of this, how is your day to day? What are you doing to stay busy? How is Shangela actually quaranqueening?
Well, let me tell you, I wish it was like week 1, and I'm just going to close this door here because, the children, they like to open the door and then just leave it open, the children. Whew. I would tell you, my first week, I was like, oh, this is easy. Netflix, cookies, we'll be done with this in a second. I'm just going to push through. And it was not that. And so in doing that, the way that I've been doing now, I had to put some routine back into my life. I came, to Paris at my grandma's house. And because, I'm in the house with family, they have a system. They get up, they eat breakfast, they eat lunch, they eat dinner. It's like a routine. I'm not by myself. So I fall into the routine with them. I have my little cousins that are now out of school, but when they were in school, I was like taking because my other cousin's an essential worker, so she was still out there. So I was doing Uncle DJ duties. I was helping them with homework, and we're going through packets weekly and submitting them, and I'm doing long division, And in addition to those like family duties, I said duty, so 12. In addition to that, I've been keeping myself busy because look, just because we're not touring anymore, just because I'm not currently touring, that does not mean that my brain stops, nor does it mean that any of the ideas, projects, things that I want to see come to light are going to stop either. I've just finished writing a full-length feature with my friend Deborah Dean Davis. I'm putting some finishing touches with a friend of mine on a new pilot script. I have, of course, journaling to keep my own sanity every morning. I'm trying to work out. I ordered a treadmill on Amazon, put it together. Well, I can't lie. My mom put it together. I did not put it together. It came in a box. Jason, it came in a box.
Oh.
It wasn't for me.
I know. I couldn't either. Trust me. I get it.
Yeah, my mom is handy though. So Deborah, she put it together for me. And so I've been trying to like work out because I'm like, oh, I know there's going to be a day we're going to return to the poolside with the people. And I'm going to be over there like, girl, quarantine. That's all I'm going to be able to tell folks. I was fit fish, but now, girl, quarantine. And also, promoting our show, We're Here, which I'm so thankful is coming on television during a time when I think people really are wanting something that is a feel-good moment for them, even though I've heard all the time, and I know I'm right there with everybody, box of Kleenex, we boo-hooing every week, but it's also something exciting and fun, and it's something that I'm proud of. I'm really proud to be able to bring this project and these people and their stories to the screen along with HBO and my sisters, Bob and Eureka. Like, we had a lot of fun doing this, and now we get to share it with the world in a time where people are like, all right, I've seen as much, killing and sex and everything else on Netflix. I'm good. What is there for me to watch?
Well, and with that said, though, what do you want the audience to take away from We're Here? When it's all said and done, and we've gone on this emotional journey, and we've cried, we've laughed, we've experienced the pain and the joy of We're Here, because it elicits all those emotions very viscerally. What do you want the audience to take away from the show and be left with?
Look, I want them to walk away going, it does not matter where anyone is from. You can be from the big city. It does not matter. You can be from a small town and have left there and I've been down there for many years. These stories that are coming out of these small towns are something that can resonate with everybody. And I hope that the biggest message that they take away from this is that we are not as different as, if it's for someone outside the LGBTQ community, I hope they take that we're not as different as maybe they thought we were. Our experience is not as removed from their experience as they thought it was. We are your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your nephews, your pastors, your hairstylists, your designers, as well as your plumbers and your neighbor. Okay? So we all need to start talking more. I hope that it starts conversations, even if they're difficult conversations. I have family members that, don't talk about nothing drag, but because of this show, it's starting to come up. And hopefully they're, moving in a direction where we can look, I'm open for the combo. Let's talk. And for the gay people watching this, I just hope that they see another piece of visibility on screen that makes them feel seen. And I want them to know, baby, let me tell you something. The sky's the limit. And then there ain't no limit. Break the sky. Keep it moving. Because, like, if you can be a drag queen like me, somebody that dresses up in women's clothing and tips the street, somebody that worked their way from the no makeup second season of RuPaul's Drag Race to now not only co-hosting but also consulting, being a consulting producer on in that show for a huge network like HBO. You can do it. You can do it, and you don't have to hide or dim your gay light in order to do it. You be just as fabulous as you are, and if there ain't a lane for you, go make one, bitch.
Go make one. I love it. I love it. I'll take one question from the viewers. They want to know your thoughts on Lady Gaga and Chromatica and the songs that are coming out.
Oh, I want your stupid love, lover, ha, 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 ha. Everybody think that my pink look was inspired by Stupid Love, but we filmed our show back in November of last year, the Farmington episode. So I promise I didn't snatch it from Lady Gaga, but you know, great diva minds think alike. And I gotta say, I'm so thrilled, excited for anything to come out with her because I love Gaga. She's real. She's talented. She can twirl and turn it, and I'm so excited. So excited.
Love. That's cool, Shanji. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
We're Here is on tonight, HBO, 9 p.m.
That's right. And the first episode, if you don't have HBO, the first episode is still free on YouTube until the 21st of May.
Boom, love it. You be safe in Paris, Texas. I'm gonna see you soon. Hug the family for me, and you take care, okay?
Thank you. Bye, y'all.